following is a true statement of the events that led to filing this charge. I have consulted with a prosecuting attorney concerning this incident. Yes. Would have been signed and subscribed and sworn before. Yes. Now, I thought I would get a copy of this. The judge themselves would have signed it. Yes. The original of the complaint or citation now would have been the complaint, and notice shall be filed with the clerk of the court. Yes. And then the time, the citation and notice shall be filed with the clerk of the court within 2 days after issuance, not including Saturdays, Sundays, or holidays. A citation and notice not filed within the time limits of this rule may be dismissed without prejudice. Yes. Now we have the 2-count criminal complaint that was signed on the 2nd, right, and was filed on the 8th. Yes. Did the prosecuting attorney, you don't use this anymore? Well, it says amended May 6th of 2008. Now maybe this isn't the well, as I understand this, right, prosecution standards is aware of the gravity of initiating 2-count criminal complaint against Paul C. Budnick when the police department did know I wasn't in Brennan. Yes. And they got copies of the email that I sent that day. Yes. Now, of the necessity of the court appearances for himself, herself, or witnesses, a possible liability of false arrest, and the consequences of perjury. Now, the only thing that I've been able to really glean from the outbursts of Brett Roberts while representing the state of Washington, yes, was speedy trial did toll, as it was said on the court record, but I looked through it and speedy trial doesn't toll on some of these. Yes, yes, yes. Some of these court forms where is it psychotropic medication, Brett, or is it psychotropic or psychotic medication? I thought that his response to the actual dismissal, yes, was incorrect. Now, I would think I could sue you for any of these inactions. It's not psychotic. The state of Washington recommended psychotropic medication, but there is a separate form for those that are psychotic, yes, versus psychotropic. I just didn't want to get the wrong form wrong when I go to the cell hearing. We've been having some use of some forms that are not really explained the way that they see. I thought I'd go through these involuntary admitting of medications to individuals. Yes. And the thought was that the prosecuting attorney said it was psychotic medication. Yes. But Phyllis said psychotropic medication. Poop. Now, I thought we'd go through the forms because I have approximately 16 days before I have to appear in court. Yes. So let's just find out exactly what you're going to prescribe. Oh, Joel's Law. Now, I didn't really plan on talking about it, but since I have it here, yes. These relatives, Sandra Taylor, Wayne Condit, Lori Argyle, my mother, my aunt, my uncle, yes. I thought that they wanted me to be admitted to a mental facility, yes, for a non-existent crime, where police and judges and sheriffs don't admit that they had the evidence that I didn't commit the crime, yes, from violating the fraudulent protection order that was not served on me, yes, yes, yes. Now, who can file a petition for initial detention? Yeah, if somebody has a mental disorder or substance abuse disorder, danger to themselves or others, property, or is gravely disabled. Yes. And a designated crisis responder, that citizen that said I was in Brennan, Washington, does not act to detain the person for evaluation and treatment. This petition allows an immediate family member, guardian, or conservator of a person to ask the Superior Court to review the DCR decision and consider an order to detain. Yeah. Now, let's say, my relatives found out that I have a large inheritance. Yes. And they decided that they would bribe a judge or multiple judges. Yes. They would bribe the public defender, Bruce Hanafy. Yes. To not represent me. Pooch. Not admit the evidence that I wasn't in Sequim, Washington. Yes. And then they would pay them to say, well, we had somebody from Western State Hospital in 25 minutes, yes, say that Mr. Budnick, yes, has bipolar and schizophrenic. Now, you could use this Joel's Law, yes, as soon as we get done with that cell hearing right now. Ooh, look at all the money that my relatives have paid to bribe all those cops and sheriffs right now. Now, I know Carol Kirk, It says here, if the defendant is not ordered into competency restoration treatment, I would recommend on evaluation by a designated crisis responder, formerly DMHP, due to his persistence that he has been wronged and his efforts to have contact with his sons. Ouch. At the time of the evaluation, Mr. Budnick did not present as imminent risk of danger to himself or others, but his desperation to gain what he feels has been unjustly lost may increase. Now, wouldn't that be something, Carol, if I found out that you contacted the prosecuting attorney, but you didn't appear in court before Judge Landis as the magistrate and the judge? Yes. And you didn't sign a written statement. Well, then you were paid for a show, weren't you? You were bribed to accuse me of being in Brennan, Washington. Well, look at Carol, Sandra Taylor, Wayne Condit, and Laurel Ann Argyle were the B on you every fucking time. Joel's Law. Well, let's just see what we're really dealing with today. Now, I thought, yes, that when you served me, yes, this criminal complaint, Brett Roberts, dated 8/2 of 2017, yes, actually was docketed on, date calculator, pow, simple date calculator, yes, within 2 judicial days, shall be dismissed without prejudice. Pouch! Let's just look at it for a second, shan't we? Yes. Now, I just wanted to know there might have been a weekend in there. Okay, I could be wrong on this. The admitting of myself into a mental facility, yes, for non-existent psychotropic medication. August 2nd of 2017. Chooch. Let's use another date. August 8th, 2017. Yes, 6 days. Well, I guess there were 6 days there. Was there a weekend there? Oh, well, that would leave 4 days, wouldn't it? Was there a holiday? Oops. I guess you fucked up, didn't you? Because as I read it, yes, the actual court rules, yeah. Let's look at it one more time. It says, yes, on page 3, yes, time, the citation and notice shall be filed with the clerk, yes, within 2 days after issuance, yes, not including Saturdays and Sundays, and the citation notice with the time limit of this rule may be dismissed without prejudice. Well, let's look at it again, Pouch, because I'm really wanting to sue you today. How much were you paid? To make it look like, right, I have a mental illness or defect. Yes. For not realizing that you were violating my rights. Yes. Now, we go back to the calendar. Let's go to the dates. Let's see here. August 2nd. And may be dismissed. I think it's actually an obligation. Yes. August 2nd was a Wednesday. You had 2 judicial days. Ooh. Now, it was put on the docket for the 8th. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. I think that you are obligated to dismiss without prejudice. Pouch.